In this video, I'm going to show you some photos I took this summer in Yellowstone, Glacier, and Grand Tetons National Park. Our first stop was the Grand Tetons. I shot all these photos on my Sony a7 III and the film photos on my Canon F1. This spot was probably the nicest sunrise I'll ever see in my life. We ended up making a wrong turn and found ourselves on this little abandoned town.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I have come to the conclusion that it is impossible to take a candid self-portrait. I so wish I brought my a7 III on this hike, but the film photo didn't turn out too bad. This is probably the most photographed barn in the entire world, which makes taking a unique photo of it basically impossible. That's why I'm so hyped on this photo with the ground squirrel in the foreground. On our way to Yellowstone, we saw all these birds, which made for the most average photo of the trip. Yellowstone was definitely underwhelming to me, but that had everything to do with all the people everywhere. Called this place Yellowstone's Grand Canyon, and I definitely have no argument to that. The only way to take a good photo at this waterfall was to go down what was essentially a mudslide.
Sure.
100% worth it. My brother got a photo of this marmoth just absolutely loving life, soaking in the waterfall. We did this overnight hike at what was probably the most beautiful place I've ever been to. I only took like 2 photos here and they both came out pretty trash. I know for a fact I'm gonna have to go back one day to redeem myself. This sunrise spot was our first stop in Glacier National Park, and my god, those pastel colors made it impossible to take a bad photo. This hike was filled with goats and other wildlife that were just as hyped to be taken in the view as everybody else there. My brother took these crazy photos of wildlife throughout the whole trip. This was the view at the top of the hike. I definitely have to go back here too one day, just so I can get a photo with better lighting and no snow on the ground. This waterfall was on our last hike of the trip, and the lighting just makes this one of my favorite photos of all time. On our ride home, we saw this goat, which made for the last photo of the trip.